All right, so how crews get paid may be something that you don't think you care about, but I'm going to tell you why you really should. Hey, I'm Jim Singletary at RoofSmart. One of the big elements to how much a roof costs is, of course, the labor component. So how did the guys get paid who are actually doing the work? You know, aside from the company's overhead and the profit that they make and, you know, advertising costs, all of that stuff aside, because that's going to be generally similar. How the crew gets paid has I guess, a knock-on effect for the quality of your job, but also, you know, how much it costs. So let's talk about that. All right, so there's two paths to how a crew gets paid. First, they're a subcontractor. And what that means is the job, you know, has a certain scope of work and they're gonna get paid a lump sum to do that job, whatever it happens to be. Let's say it's $5,000 is their budget and they split that among the workers and they kind of figured that out. What it also would mean then is that the company that you're buying the roof from isn't doing the work and they also aren't worried about how these guys get paid. It's just, this is how much we're willing to pay, go make it happen. So if you're the guy who says, I'm looking for this job to get done for a budget and no more than that, I don't care about you, I don't care about anything except you meet my budget so that I keep money. That's how the subcontract game works. So these guys go up there, they do the work. If they come across a problem, usually what they do is they just cover it up because they don't have any of the stuff to fix it because they didn't know ahead of time. They are uncomfortable communicating with you because they don't know what to charge. Frankly, it just costs them money if they stop and ask for more parts. So usually they just put it right back the way that it was, problems and all. All right, the other way to pay roofers is how we do it. These people are valued employees of the company, and the rules are very different if you have an employee. So in this state, an employee has to be paid for every hour that they work. If it takes longer, they get paid. The good thing about that is that they have better job security, you know, they can pay their bills, they're not taken advantage of, you know, it's a better quality of life. Why it matters to you, really, is if they come across a problem, they can let us know or they can let you know. They're not going to lose money by waiting for that material to show up so that they can actually fix something. They can have more pride in their work. We definitely screen for that when we hire people. We don't want quick and dirty, right? What we want is quality work that we can stand behind because we give a lifetime workmanship warranty, and that's really expensive if we're doing slipshod work. When you compare companies that do subcontract work versus somebody who's more quality-minded like us, what you have is a very short workmanship warranty, typically on the other end with the subcontract people because they didn't even do the work. So like they're not sure about standing behind it either. On our side, we know that we did it and they did it to our standards. And we can even make them go fix it, which is a little bit embarrassing for them because the same guy comes back and he's like, sorry about that. Usually they don't make that mistake again. So how does lump sum versus hourly affect you? Well, it affects you in two ways. First, the quote's probably going to be cheaper, right? Because their costs are sort of fixed and they're not going to fix anything else. That's going to sound really attractive, right? On paper, it'll be like, well, this company is doing the same thing as this company. But boy, it looks like such a good deal. What I found though, is that when a customer wants to use us and they're actually open and honest so that we can help them, they tell us who they're comparing us against and what the scope of work is, and then we can actually break it down and show what the real differences are. What's really useful about that is we can show you what the differences are and then you get to decide if you care about those. It doesn't mean you're gonna pick us, it doesn't mean you're gonna pick them. It gives you a chance to actually be informed and make a smart choice that makes sense for you. If you're flipping the home and you don't care about who comes next, well, maybe you're in a different position than somebody who never wants to touch this again. Okay, so what's an advantage for the company to pay lump sum versus hourly? Well, they're huge benefits. If you say, this is the budget and that's it, that's all you get paid, no matter how long it takes you, I mean, how great is that? Like my costs are fixed, I don't have to worry about cost overruns. If they take longer, I don't have to pay them. If I have to send them back, I don't have to pay them. You know, that's attractive. Again, on the flip side, what you have is somebody that they're kind of getting screwed, right? So if it took longer than they thought it would take, and it's not their fault, they're not getting paid. Unless they have an exceptional work ethic, which has become vanishingly rare. Usually what that means is they start cutting corners, which you may not notice until you call us in 5 years with a leak. All right, so from here, what you should do is check out our video on how to qualify your roofing contractor. So you can use that to vet us and anybody else that you're considering, because just about everybody interviews at least 2 contractors. So definitely interview us. Whoever else you like, I've had people interview 15. God bless you if you got that kind of time. Use the same track and you'll do a much better job. So like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and let's get together and nail it.